my application for University of Houston main campus was rejected. I got a scholarship from UMKC. I think all of the students get it. One thing is that you have to be very much unique when you're writing your SOP. Most of the universities ask for only 3 LORs. Most of the universities will not allow the outside health insurance to be there for the students. About my earnings, I used to make $13 per hour.
Okay.
And I used to work 20 hours. Try to have savings because savings are very important when you come here. Try grabbing that opportunity if that is open. And one more thing is that I want to highlight is when you get here, you would be having a lot of food changes that might be occurring to your body.
Hey guys, welcome to College Dunia Study Abroad. This is Varun. Today we have Sruchitha with us. She's pursuing her Masters in Computer Science from University of North Carolina, Charlotte. Hi Sruchitha.
Hello Varun, how are you? Hello everyone.
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good.
So Sruchitha, can you introduce yourself and talk a bit about your background for our viewers?
Well, okay, you all know my name again. This is Gavini Sruchitha and I'm from Hyderabad. And I've done my bachelor's in India in Guru Nanak University, and as soon as I finished my bachelor's, I always wanted to pursue my master's in USA, and there's no particular that I need to study in that university, this university. I did apply to a few, and it's always it was my dream to pursue my master's, and I got here as soon as my bachelor's were done. No experience, but still I got here, and it's been so far so good over here. There are a lot of experiences I've been through, and a lot of subject I've gained, and a lot of people I met over here from different cultures. And there's a lot to talk about my experience.
That's really nice. It's interesting then. So Sruchitha, let's get back to your bachelor's a bit, and can you tell us what was your scores in your maybe 12th and then bachelor's, and what are your scores right now?
Well, in 12th, my score was 97.7. I mean, that's a percentage, which was pretty good. But you cannot really compare your score or your 12th score with that of what you're studying right now.
Yes.
And then and my bachelor's, I was not a top student, but I was an average student, and my college was affiliated to JNTU, which is the university, and I got 8.4. I was an 8.4 GPA, so I'm not a top student. I'm like the 5th of my college, so pretty good.
That's still top, I would say. It's a really
top,
good GPA.
But still it's an 8+, so it's good. And then as I said, I wanted to pursue my master's, so while I was in my 3rd year, I started this journey reading for GRE, and then IELTS, and then going through the videos from YouTube. Like, I'm interviewing right now, but 2 years back I was looking at those interviews, so I came from there. And then I did self-learning by myself, and I took few of my time from my daily basis to totally give it to the GRE and IELTS. So first I gave my GRE, and it was pretty easy because the maths was just from 12th standard and from not from bachelor's, it's from 10th, 11th and 12th. So it's basic maths, so I just need to sit for 1 hour like in a day, and then just practice it. That's it. English was a little it's hard for me. I cannot really say it's too difficult, but there are so many words that you need to understand in order to understand one paragraph. So if you don't know a meaning of a particular word in the paragraph, then you don't understand the whole thing. So that's where I had to concentrate, and there's so many words that you need to learn in a day. So I put my target to learn at least 20 words in a day. So in about 30 days, I learned 600 words. So I always give a suggestion that you don't just know the word and then go through the meaning, because the next day you might definitely forget. So try to take a word, try to use it in your own sentence, try to remember the meaning in your own sentence, and try to use it in your daily basis. So that's how I learned it. But when I was using all those high language words, my friends were laughing at me, but still it's a plus for me, not for them.
Yeah.
So that's where I learned the words, and those words, it may or may not, people over here will not be able to use all those words, but still you got to learn for the IELTS and
Exam.
GR.
Yeah.
Yes, right. But it's however useful to you. And I learned for at least 3 months. I was a pandemic student, so I got a lot of time to learn, so I did. And after 3 months I gave my GRE. I gave a computer based exam because there were no slots to go to the exam center because it
Yes.
was COVID. So I gave my exam in my room itself, and the questions were pretty good. After 3 months of training, I was able to answer them on time. I always maintained a time sense to my
Yeah.
questions.
So what
So
was your scores like in
my
GRE?
yes, so my total was 321. I
Okay.
was able to get 163 in quant and 158 in verbal.
Okay, that's really great score.
Yes.
That's nice. And what about the
My
IELTS?
the IELTS, I got 9 in listening. I was able to do it really
Oh,
good. And then I got 7 and 7 in speaking and then writing. But I think I missed them in reading. I got a 6 in reading, but total my score was 7.5, which is pretty good.
yes,
And
that's true. And did you
yeah,
give any TOEFL exam?
no, I didn't give my the universities I was particularly targeting didn't ask me for a TOEFL score, but they asked me either to go for the IELTS or else TOEFL. So I went for the IELTS.
Okay. Speaking about targeted universities, so which all universities did you apply for?
Well, I did a lot of inquiry in internet, and then people around me, people who've been to the university, and there's this particular app called Yocket, where
Yes.
you can connect to people, see if I can get into the university. So I have applied to like 9 to 10 universities, and most of them were safe universities where they can actually get into. My predictions were good, and one such university was UNCC, and then
Okay.
the other one was University of Houston main campus.
Okay.
And then I also applied to quite low profile than my, I mean, comparing to my profile, I'll apply to a low ones as well.
Like safer colleges, you mean?
Yes, I went for Colorado, Denver, and then UMKC, Kansas City, and then I also went for NJIT, which is a very good college, but they were accepting applications with less percentage also. But then
Okay.
I don't want to lose my hope, not getting all the rejections. So I applied to safe and then the high ones as
Okay.
well.
Yeah.
Yes, but during my time, it was very hard for people to get, to make the predictions whether
Yeah.
this will be definitely accepted. For my wonder, my application for University of Houston main campus was rejected. That's
Okay.
only because I was having no experience. I was just, I mean, I really cannot say why they rejected me. I'm just comparing myself with other students, like
Okay.
my seniors
Okay.
who already have an experience, and that put me in a place where a state of mind where my applications for UNCC will be accepted or not, because
Okay.
the same thing was happening. People had experience, were getting the acceptance, and me having no experience, I was just scared because I was the last one who got the acceptance. Me and my friend,
Okay.
we got the email that it
So
was
how
the
long did
last.
it take from the point of applying to your admit letter? How many months or weeks did they take?
So it almost took 3 months. I started applying in July, August, and my acceptance were in September and October. At that time, I was getting the acceptance mails and rejections and all. So I almost had to wait around like 2 to 3 months for all of
Okay.
that.
Okay.
And even though I had scholarships, the main reason I chose UNCC is because the standard of the college and the course structure. I had few friends over here. Yes,
So
go
one
ahead.
second. You mentioned scholarships. So what scholarships are you talking about? Did you get any scholarships from the other universities? That is what you mean?
Yes, so I got a scholarship from UMKC. I think all of the students get it, and I also got a scholarship from NJIT and
Okay.
Stevens Institute of Technology as well.
Okay.
But when comparing with all the matrices, like whatever the price, whatever the course schedule, I had to
Yeah.
choose UNCC, dropping all those
Yeah, that
scholarships.
was my question because you got a lot of scholarships, and why you actually chose
Mm,
UNCC.
yes.
So
So
what was
that.
the reason? Like, can you
Mm,
talk a bit on that?
sure. So one thing is that you always wish that you had someone around you, known people, so
Yes.
that once you get there, you are not alone, you would be having your friends. So first thing was that, and the second thing was, I already know the course schedule, I already know the professor and how they would be teaching, because I
Okay.
have gathered a lot of information from alumni, and then from the website, from we do a lot of research from LinkedIn profiles these days, and that's how I know that I wanted to go to that university for sure.
Okay.
And having taking all things into consideration, whether even the price, like the tuition fee for most of the universities like that I got into. I also got into Georgia Tech and George Mason University, but the price, when compared, is the UNCC was reasonable for me.
Okay.
And then that's why that is the second one that I chose, UNCC. And the third one is stay. And as I have friends, they already found a place for me to live in, and they have explained me everything, and how I had to deal with things once I get here. So I
Yeah.
already have a picture of how it will be once I get into
Yeah.
this college.
Yes. So you
So
were more
that is why.
comfortable already, like you planned
Mm,
everything and you were pretty
yes.
comfortable. Okay, that's
Yes.
actually nice. I think kind of that's lucky as well. Like not everyone gets the chance to be like that.
Right.
Uh, but yeah, I think you had your valid reasons to choose the
Yes.
university. So
Yes.
while you were applying for the universities, so how
Mm.
many LORs did you prepare, and like how did you manage your SOP? Can you talk a bit about that?
Yes. So coming to my SOP, I really worked a lot on it. It was like I had to prepare every sentence on my own. It's not like I can collect it from somewhere, because you will be easily get caught in the flag when the team goes through your SOP and LORs. So it's one thing is that you have to be very much unique when you're writing your SOP.
Mhm.
Right from very basic, you don't have to be really a professional in order to write it. Right from basic, why have you chosen this course, why are you choosing this college, have you done any research? In my case, I already did, so I was very clear, and I know where to start from, and what catchy words I need to use to actually tell about myself. So I started writing it. It didn't take me much time, it took me just like a week. So I used to sit during nights, I used to start from 10 o'clock and then complete it by 1. Once I'm done
Okay.
with a paragraph,
Yes.
then I'm done, I'll sleep. The next morning I have new thoughts on how to start
Yeah.
it.
So you
And
look you
coming
took
to
really a lot,
LORs.
like your own time, and you actually prepared like nice personalized SOP then.
Yes.
Okay.
And if you would like, the students can actually take references from other SOPs, but don't really copy, don't really copy the same thing and keep it in your SOP.
Yeah.
Try to elaborate, try to be
Yes.
unique. And when it comes to LOR, I had 4 LORs. Most of the universities ask for only 3 LORs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's better that you have a backup. What if your professor backed out and is not attend he's not reviewing the LOR? It's very important that your professor go through the LORs. I mean, they have to give a review on you. It's very important. Unless or
Yes.
until your LORs are done, then only your application is moved forward. So
Okay.
it's always better when your professor will not review your LOR. Then you can actually delete it and then add a
Yes.
new one. So
Okay.
that can be an option for some universities. And it's very important when you're applying, because we cannot really take all the money from our pocket to and apply to all the universities.
Yes.
Filter them out. And also there are many meetings where some of the consultancies and some of the supporting groups conduct. When you attend those meetings, you would be getting a voucher so
Okay.
that you can apply to few universities. And
Yes.
that's how I got a $75 coupon to apply to Texas Arlington campus. I
Okay,
got an
that's
acceptance
interesting.
over there
Yes.
also.
Okay.
Yes.
I think you got
And
acceptance from many universities. I think you have to
I
again list
did.
out like how many out of the 9 or 10. Like, just give me a
Sure,
number. Out
sure.
of those 10 universities, how many universities did you get admits in?
I only got rejected from two universities, which is the University of Houston main campus and University of South Florida.
And rest all
And
the eight
rest,
universities you got the admits.
yes, I did.
That's interesting. And how did you actually like, other than these, like, how did you even decide? Like, 8 universities is like too many options for someone.
Mm,
And it's great that
yes,
you like shorted it down to this one university,
yes.
UNCC. Let's talk about the course structure of computer
Mm,
science at UNCC. So that must be something really special, right? Because you really
mm.
chose it out of 8 universities.
Yes, I did. And one main thing that have chosen is that I was all my projects in bachelor's were based on machine learning and data science, and that's how I don't really have in-depth knowledge about it because I did few projects with my teammates. It's not like I have developed the whole thing, but I do have interest in data science. And I got the when I got into university, I was able to pick my concentration, which is data science. None of the other universities were able to give me that option.
Okay.
So UNCC gave me an option to choose my concentration, and it also gave me an option to choose the subject in the concentration. It's
Okay.
not like they have by default they gave me an subjects and I have to mandatory do it. I
Hmm.
have an option to pick those
Yes.
subjects.
Yes.
And like any other universities, you have to be very careful while picking your subject, and you have to be in line. Like,
Hmm.
you have on time, you have to register, otherwise you will not get the subject and you have to do some subject that you're not interested in.
Yeah.
So the course structure is pretty flexible, and if you are having any problem and if you don't want to do that subject, you can talk to the ISSO member, where
Okay.
that it's an international society, where you can just go and explain that you are not interested in that subject, and let's see, they can give you few options that you can choose. So
Okay.
so it's better, in order not to go them, just be on time, and when the registration is there, just stay and choose your subjects, keep it in the cart, register on time.
Okay.
So it's always been a very hard task for all of us,
So
but I
yeah,
did it.
when you talk about registration, I know over these 2 years or 3 years,
Mm,
international strength has increased a lot. College intakes have increased a lot, and there are so many people pursuing masters, especially into the computer courses.
right.
So the universities abroad, like here in US, have a different method of course registration, right? You have to
Mm,
get into the portal, add the courses that you want into the cart, make sure that you have all the courses you want, and you meet all the requirements, and then you buy the sorry, I mean like you enroll to the courses, right?
right.
So
Mm.
how is that going on? Like I think I heard like there are a lot of troubles with that process, like right now
Yes.
ongoing. So what do you want to talk on that, like and what do you suggest?
Well, see, let's take an example of our batch and the batch that's coming in. So, what happened was both of us are having the same time to register. Like, at the same time, we have to register. For us, it will be at 11 a.m. And the people in India, it will be like, 8 p.m. for them, 8:30, like that. And there are a lot of students in the same portal, they're in the same website. So it's obvious that the website crashes, even though it is a big website, or let's take anything else. So when many people are always loading, refreshing, there is always a
Yes.
problem of that site being
Down.
overloaded.
Yeah.
So it's always best that add your courses. UNCC has something that you add your courses to your cart. When that it's a time to register, you just click one button, and
Okay.
then if you're lucky, then you are registered. But we didn't know when we were in India, because there were no one to communicate about it.
Yes.
So it's always better go to the LinkedIn platform, talk to people who are in UNC, like any other your students who are already pursuing it, and ask how to do it. So if you miss that time, then courses are very difficult, and it's not like people will add new seats to the courses. Even the professors are very strict that I just want that limit of students, I cannot
Yes.
teach to more students.
Yes.
So it's very careful that you ask your seniors how to do it, ask them for help. If not one, try to connect to different others. There
Yes.
might be some people who will help. So
Yes.
try connecting and building with them, so that they will help you in anything. So even
That's some
I
good
got few
good
messages from
suggestions.
people. Yes, so that's how you register for your courses.
Okay, that's nice. And how many years is the course duration, and what are the number of credits?
So basically, there are 10 subjects that you need to finish, and each subject is 3 credits. So you need to have a total of 30 credits in order to finish the course. And in UNCC, you can choose how many credits that you want to do. It's a minimum of 6 credits per semester to
Okay.
a maximum of 10 credits. So, maximum actually 15 credits you can do, but you have to file a petition for that.
Okay.
So there are students who have finished the course in 1 year. They
Okay.
did for the fall semester, and then the spring semester, and then the summer semester. So in like 2 semesters, 2.5, they have finished it. And there
Yes.
are students who actually finish the course in 2 years. So they take up to 4 semesters in order to
Yes.
finish. And it's up to you how many subjects that you want to do. Like you can choose, if there are 4 semesters, you can actually choose from 2, 2, 3, 1.
Yes.
So it's basically, you can match it up, like how many
Yeah.
that you want to do.
Yeah.
And the same thing, I am finishing in 1.5 semesters, that
Okay.
is 3 semesters.
Yes.
So in the very first, I did 4 subjects, and then I again did 4 subjects, that is first semester 4 subjects, second semester 4 subjects. Now I'm left with 2, so I did one
Okay.
in summer and one right now, so I just have
Oh,
one for my last semester. So I
okay.
can
That's
only
interesting.
concentrate on the market, the
Yes.
jobs.
Yes, that's good planning. But doesn't the universities have a criteria to maintain your international student status? Like you have to do at least set number of credits every semester or something?
So this happens when you're coming into the university, and there is a limit that you have to do at least 6 credits. But in summer, you are allowed to do either 1 or 2 subjects. But for my last semester, as I have only 1 subject,
Yes.
which limits my credits to 3, so
Yeah.
I had to file a petition that
Okay.
I have only 1 subject and I want to do a course under load.
Okay.
So I filed my petition to the ISSO members, and if they accept it, then I can do the subject. Mostly
Okay.
it's a case of a yes, because there are students who wants to have a flexibility of number of courses that they want
Yes.
during the semesters.
Yes.
So it's the same case for me and for my friends.
Okay, that's nice. So one last, okay, first let's talk about the fee structure. Can you tell us what's your fee structure?
Well, the fee structure is actually increasing, and there's a difference from year to year. So
Yes.
when I got here, for 4 of my subjects, I paid like $10,000 a change for 4 subjects.
Just the
When
tuition, just the credits or the whole
uh,
semester fees?
depending upon the credits you pay, and it's not like this particular fee will be there. It's there, they're gonna add up like different fees to it. They're gonna add up transportation fee,
Yes.
gym fee, whether you use it or not, they're gonna add it up. So it ranges. They add a few other things to your bill. You're however supposed to pay it, you cannot
Yeah.
really take that off. But one thing that you can take that off from your payment is that health insurance. So what happens is most of the universities will not allow the outside health insurance to be there for the students. But in UNCC, when you want a health insurance from the college, you have to pay 1,300 per semester, 1,300 and change something. But for I didn't go with that because I want to limit my tuition fee a bit. So I opted for outside insurance, the health insurance, where I
Yes.
paid around 400 per first 12 months. So you can
Okay.
see a difference over here.
Yeah, around
So
900.
I'm
No, more than
almost
900. It's 1700 or something, I guess.
yes, I'm saving around like 1500 actually for
Okay.
1 year. So that one you can waive, but other things you have to pay it if you're using it or not. So as a coming back to my tuition fee for in 2022, I paid around 10,000 for one semester in for 4 subjects, while the same fee in 2023 has gone to 13,000 to 14,000. So
Okay.
almost it has been increased from $2,000 to $2,500.
Yes.
So the fees will depend on the number of subjects that you're taking,
Okay, so there is no
and
cap. There is
yes.
no cap, like some for few universities it's a cap, right? You do 9 credits, you pay this much. If you're doing anything more than 9, you don't pay. Like it's a fixed fees up to 9 credits. It's nothing
Uh,
like that or something.
yeah, so it's up until 3 and 4 subjects. It depends upon the subject, but when it comes to 4 subjects, same price. 5 subjects, same price. So this is the only difference that is
Okay,
based on the cap. That's
so
it.
4 and more is same price, but I don't
Yes.
think you can do more than 4 or 5, I guess.
Yeah. No. No. Yeah. You cannot do 4 and
That's a lot already, I
more than
feel.
5. Yes. I mean, 5 is very difficult. I don't know people how they do it. There are a lot of assignments for them to do all the time. I don't know how people manage to do 5. It's just that, if they don't want to opt in for college on campus jobs or college, we
Hmm.
do have on campus jobs. If they don't want to do, if the parents are already well settled and all, sending money, then maybe they can just focus on
Yeah.
the studies. So
Hmm.
unlike me, I had to do the on-campus job. It's just that I want to earn
I
myself and
think,
I
yeah,
got
I
it.
think most of them want to be independent when they come
Right.
abroad, like when they study abroad, they don't want to depend on the family
Mm.
anyways, I guess. But yeah, that's really good for you. And
Mm.
uh, like you mentioned the fees, like in the subject wise, right? But in semester or like yearly, can you give me a rough number how much you pay?
Sure. So let's say in 1.5 years, I am paying 32,000
And
for the whole thing. Yes, for the
the
whole
only tuition,
my
right? The like what
studies.
you pay for the college.
Yes, it's 32,000. It was less in 2021, but there has been I mean, you can see the
A
prices
lot of
have been
inflation,
increasing.
yes.
Yes, so the college fee is also increasing, but we can never complain because once you get into a good job, then you can repay it in no time. So
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
education over
I think
anything.
that's what everyone hopes for.
Yes.
And so 32,000, honestly, I feel like, and that's for 1.5 years, right?
Mm,
That's really reasonable. That is what I feel. And
yes.
is this without any scholarships?
So UNCC, it does offer scholarship for construction management and different courses, but it doesn't offer scholarships for computer science and IT.
So no computer courses get scholarship, huh?
No, they
I feel
don't.
like they're targeting the Indians.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. See, the international students is what they get more money from
Yeah,
because most
yeah,
of the students over here do their bachelors, get done with their studies, but we come especially for masters, so that's where they're getting the money from.
yeah.
So that is why they do it. So
Yeah, and
no complaints.
I guess the computer courses have too many of Indians than any other country people.
Yes.
So
So in my
that's why
class
I was just
personally,
making a pun that like they're targeting
yes,
Indians.
right, right, right.
Okay.
So yeah,
And you were telling something about your class.
yeah, I was saying more Indians, right? So I'm doing a job with my professor, and in my class there are no Americans and there are no other people, just Indians. So most of the classes you expect a lot when you are coming over here that your class will be full of Americans. You'll be you're having friends, American friends and all, but you would be having, but it's don't expect your class will be filled with Americans. There are going to be Indian students all over the world, like all over USA.
Yeah, that's true. I agree to that.
Yeah.
So as you mentioned that you're working with the professor, so I'm assuming it's a teaching assistantship or research
Right.
assistantship.
Yes, it's
Okay,
a TA.
so then I have more questions on that. So how
Mhm.
are the teaching
Sure.
assistantship or research assistantship opportunities at UNCC? Like how easy or
Mhm.
difficult, like how competitive they are, and like what's the possibility of
Mm.
getting it? Like, is it easy to get or difficult?
Okay. Let me get into that. So when you get here, it's just that when you can apply to, you can email few professors when you're in India, but it's no guarantee that you'll be getting it. But when you come here, go do some dining services. There are plenty of jobs other than teaching assistant. So just go do it. In the meantime, you'll get to know what professors are there and what are they working, and what subjects are they teaching. So you begin your teaching assistant emails and all prior like 3 to 4 months from the new semester. So when the new semester is starting in August, you start your emails and all from April, and then you keep on sending mails, keep on sending them follow-up mails that you're very interested to work with the professor. And in UNCC, if you're really putting all your effort, definitely by even your semester is starting tomorrow, then today you might be getting a teaching assistant. So it's
Okay,
just the effort that you're keeping in
so
sending
never
them
give up.
mails, and yes, never give up. No. So I always I did not really draft one mail and send it to everyone. I put my effort to send each and every one a personal email, like not like the same unique one that you send to
Yeah.
everyone. So I did my effort, and at last I have got my TA. And from last August, I am doing the teaching assistant job with two of my professors.
Oh, so you're doing two teaching assistantship jobs.
No, I did from August to December with one professor, and then I
Okay.
got another one in Jan. So
Well, that
it's
shows that there is a huge probability then. Like it just depends on
yes,
how
it's just that.
proactive you are. Okay. Okay,
Right.
that clears out. So what
And
you're saying is
sometimes
that you
reference
shouldn't.
work.
Oh, okay. Yeah, reference, I think in US networking is the key. That I agree,
Yes.
like totally.
Right.
So,
Mm.
so what you're saying is not to expect anything in the first semester itself, but if you're proactive, you would find a
Mm.
TA or RA in the
Yes.
coming up semesters.
Yes. I
Okay.
mean, one more thing is that if you have experience on the particular domain that the professor is teaching, do your research on the internet and start drafting a mail from India. So one thing is that no one ever told me that you can do this,
Mm-hmm.
draft a mail and then you'll be getting it. It's just that just do your research, draft your mail, and maybe you're the lucky one just getting the teaching assistant from day one. So
Yeah.
it's a great job that you don't need to really put the physical effort. And the thing is that so one thing that I want to suggest to all the students is that if you're having any of the health problems or anything, go and take a proper insurance. In my case, I thought it was all going to be very good, and as I said, I went to the outside insurance. So what happened was, in my first semester I was working in a dining service, and I my right hand wrist, the ligament over here, it had a problem, and I didn't know what I was supposed to do. So I just went to the normal student healthcare, and they were like, it was all good. It continued, the pain continued for 3 months, and 3 months I've been working and still having a band. So the problem was never cured, and once I got to India, I got to know that there was something wrong with my wrist, and that's where I had to take a big shot, like
Okay.
some shot they gave me, and I was cured by then.
Okay.
So it's just that if you're having any of the problems and if you play sports, go to an insurance that will actually serve, it will help you.
So it should
And
cover
if you feel,
everything. That's what you mean, I guess.
yes, it
Yeah.
should cover everything. That's what I meant. So just be careful about that. I really wanted to mention because
Yeah.
students don't really know when they're in India. They might think it's gonna be all right when they get
Yeah.
here, but sometimes it's not the case. So you just have to
Yeah.
be very careful.
It's medical care is really expensive in the
Yes,
US. In India, maybe even without insurance, you can survive for a while.
exactly.
But in US, even to visit get a consultation costs a lot, I guess. Like it's pretty
Yes.
expensive without the insurance. So,
But
thanks for bringing this up. I actually wanted to ask you, as you mentioned that you took an insurance from the outside, not the universities. Can I
mm,
know which one is that? Like, what's the name?
oh well, just a minute. So it's the ISO Students Insurance.
ISO Students Insurance. Okay, okay, that's great. Like maybe if some people are really in the need to take a cheaper insurance, you never know. But yeah, but as you suggested, it's always better to go for the premium ones.
Yeah. So right, I got heard from the next semester I am on the premium one because
Yeah,
I never
yeah.
know what's gonna happen next.
Exactly. It's always good to be on the premium one. If you can afford it, then why not? And yeah, when coming to the part time, as you mentioned that you used to work in the dining and then now you're a teaching assistant or research.
Mm.
Wait, are you a teaching assistant or research assistant?
Teaching assistant.
Teaching assistant. Yeah. As coming to the part time, like you started off as in a dining hall, and then you are right now working
Mm.
as a teaching assistant. So, can you talk a little bit about your part time journey? Like, what you
Mm.
were doing, what you were earning, and when did you shift?
Mm.
Like, how was your growth?
So I started applying to the one of the portal in UNCC where you can actually get the job. So I started applying in India, and I got a job in Chick-fil-A in the campus.
Mhm.
But they called me the next day. But I was in India the next day, so that didn't happen. So most of the cases, what happened is when you get here, you actually start your search. And I went around the campus in other dining services and some of the like Chick-fil-A, Subway. I asked there, and the next there were a few students in the campus working, so I just got the part time right away. But at this time it's a little difficult, but eventually we'll find it. So I was working in the dining service known as Sovi, which is South Park, blah blah, but it's still a dining service.
Yeah.
And I used to do all different kinds of jobs, like I used to work in pizza grill, wiping the tables. You have to never feel shame of what you're doing it. You're just doing to for yourself to be independent. You have to think that way. So about my earnings, I used to make $13 per hour,
Okay.
and I used to work 20 hours in a week.
Okay. Okay. That's
So
nice.
that pretty much covered my rent, my savings, my expenses. So at the very beginning when I got to USA, I was always doing an into 79 of everything.
Yeah.
So I was just trying to convert into rupees. But then eventually when you start earning, you will, you don't have to really do that, and spend a little less.
Yeah.
Try to have savings, because savings are very important when you come here,
Yeah.
because you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. You might get a ticket of driving a car or something, you have to pay more.
Yeah.
So it's always good to have savings. And now I am, as a teaching assistant, I am making $15 per hour and 20 hours a week.
Okay.
So I get my paycheck 2 weeks. In 2 weeks I get for one time,
Yeah.
and it's pretty much good because you don't really have to put that physical effort and hurt yourself. So
Yes.
sit at your home, do your work, attend the classes, and you're good.
Yeah.
So so these are the services and the dining services and the part-time jobs in UNC Charlotte. You don't have to worry. The new students who are coming in, just don't worry about the jobs that you're getting or not. Just when you get here, settle yourself, go to the campus one day, and then meet all the managers from different places. Just give them your name and you're actively interested and you need that job for your finances and everything, and you'll definitely get a job in no time. So it's not at all a
Yeah.
problem in UNC Charlotte.
Yeah, and that's actually a really good advice you have given. So yeah, I mean, I feel like you have a personal experience when you spoke about getting a ticket for driving. Would you like to
I
share
mean,
something on that? Because
sure,
I know
definitely.
that like in US, like you get ticketed for like many random things and it's pretty expensive. Why don't you share something happened from your personal experience and you know
Hmm.
the viewers might know a little bit of like how things happen here.
So it's not me. I am a very good driver. I do drive very well and very carefully. It's my
Okay.
friends. So guys, when I get a car, they want to drive really harsh, they want to prove themselves on something, I don't know. Some people, I'm not particularly telling about one. So one of my friend, he was speeding, and then he got a ticket. He was called to the courtroom to attend, and for all the lawyer expenses and all, it costed him a lot. To hire a lawyer over here will cost you, and the fine that you have to pay will cost you. So everything is very expensive over here. One of my friend was charged to $2,000, and the other friend had a really big damage to the car done, which were charged. The charges for it is 28,000. To
Oh my
come
God.
to an understanding, you see a difference between 2,000 and 28,000,
Yes.
and it's just that your bank account is at $1,000. So how are
Yeah.
you going to repay when it is
What did he do?
28,000? I mean, it's still on the go. He's talking to a few lawyers, so to waive a few money. So it is happening. But the other friend, he paid his $2,000, and his 1 year license was restricted. He's not allowed to drive.
Yeah.
So it's very careful for you to be here.
So guys, like, be really cautious and careful, like when you're doing something, not just driving, but anything that you do. Just try to
Yes.
follow the rules. Don't be like bossy or something. That's it, I guess.
Right. Yes. The
All
law is
right.
very strict over here. So.
Yeah, I totally agree. So coming back to the course, so what are the future prospects of the course? Like once you graduate from UNCC, MS in CS, how is the job market, and what are the future prospects? As in, like, what kind of roles can you look for, and what kind of companies you can look for? I know CS in general is a pretty huge one, but I would like to know more from the UNCC perspective. And I would like you to answer that. And then I know that you mentioned the job market is bad right now, but I would like to know something before this situation and right now, both.
Yes. So at this time, as you know, the market is little low, so it's hard, but it was always not been like this. It was very good. So my seniors, my direct seniors who were in UNCC had got into Amazon, and it was pretty good package. It was 130K a year with full-time benefits and then bonus given to them. And Amazon has been laying off, but still they got into something. And my other friends were in Walmart. Their job is pretty good. The market, even the market is down, the jobs have not been laid off. So I can just say that if the situations were right, it is not difficult for you to find a job. Even at this time, it is not really difficult. It's just the right time that your profile has to be clicked. And even though if you are a fresher, and even though you have less experience, people really sometimes care only about how you are able to perform. And when, as a computer science students, you can apply if you are very much interested in data and then handling the numbers, then you can go to data analyst, data engineering, and data scientist roles. And I am keeping my options open right now. So as I am a fresher, I can get into anything, but it's just that my interest. So I am interested in Java full stack developer, but apart from that, I'm also interested in another role, which is a business analyst role. And for that, you need a little training. It's not of a big role. It's a non-functional role. You have to communicate more, and you have to have some basic knowledge of the technology. And also, you can keep your options open. Whatever the stream you are into, if you are into architect, if you are into analyst, if you are into full stack developer, front end developer, Angular developer, then many options that are there that you can apply. Just follow your interest and apply to all the openings. Then you'll find the right job. So it's definitely not a problem.
So does the university help you find the jobs? In what way the university helps you?
Yes. So for bachelor students, it is actually very easy, but for master students, they do help you, but not all the way. They do conduct career fairs where you can directly dress up, go and directly talk to the company hiring managers, the recruiters, tell them your experience. But what happens is most of the career fairs will take your resume, will write down that you're interested in this particular field, but it's a question mark that you will be called back.
Okay.
Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't, but it's good that when you have to attend all the career fairs and try grabbing that opportunity if that is open. But most of the universities, as per my knowledge, like my friends and all, they don't really guide you into everything. It's only you that you have to put your effort. So
Yes.
it comes from you, not someone has to push you and do it.
Got it.
So
Yep.
it's all up to you. Yeah.
Okay, I agree to that. So,
Mm.
as you mentioned, that you would eventually find a job. So
Mm.
I would like to ask this question. So, what is the
Mm.
probability of finding this full-time job? Would you say 100%?
Not 100%, but it can be an 80%, and full time is a bit difficult at this time. But if you're getting a contract position,
Mm-hmm.
and if they're not offering you full time, they're offering you a W2 on a contract basis, go
Mm-hmm.
for it. So
Okay.
it's better that you're starting somewhere unless you're
Yes.
just sitting idle, right?
Yes.
So you'll get first thing is that you'll get an experience, second thing is that you'll be having a client, and
Mm-hmm.
then third thing is that the second job that you'll be getting will be very easy.
Okay.
So
So
start on
contract,
something.
yeah, contract as in like it's not a complete like complete hiring. It's just for the project or something like for a duration, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, right. It's
Okay,
maybe
that's
from
nice.
3 months to 24 months.
Okay, got it. So, what is the average salary you can expect from graduate, like after graduating from UNCC, from computer
Mhm.
science and getting a job?
Yeah. So from computer science, it depends upon the field. So when you're targeting Java full stack
Hmm.
developer, your salary might range from 90K to around 150K depending upon your experience and your performance.
Okay.
On the other side, data analyst will be getting a little less, but I'm not saying that you'll be if you get if you'll get low and when you're going to this field. It's just that you have to start somewhere. So this might range from 75 to 100,
Okay.
the data analyst roles.
Okay.
So I would better suggest, with the current market that is going on, even though if they're offering 75 on W2 basis, just go for it. See,
Okay.
you might be earning a little less at the initial, but once they believe that you are a better employee for them,
Hmm.
it's not a difficult task for them to convert more salary. It's
Yes.
just that one click and the next day your payroll will be different.
So you would say that you get an opportunity, just grab it, irrespective of what they're offering,
Yes.
even if you think it is
I
not
mean, if
good
it is
enough.
serving really less, then I would not. I would suggest to
So know your
wait,
value
wait
and
for
try to
others.
negotiate, huh?
Yes, exactly right. I try to
Got
negotiate.
it. Yeah. So, what companies do like hiring, like do hire at University of North Carolina? Like any renowned companies, like how should I tell you? The companies that very frequently hire. What are those companies?
Yes. So Duke Energy, I think you have heard about the Duke Energy,
Okay.
and Bank of America,
Okay.
and Spectrum.
Okay.
So these are the three companies who will always, they look for UNC students most, and then if they're better at it, the students are better at it, they
Yeah,
immediately hired it. So
that's
you can
nice.
see these three companies everywhere, like around the campus and all the career fairs. These three companies would be there.
Okay.
Walmart is also one of them.
Okay. Got it. Okay, so that was a lot about the study and everything. Let's talk about your personal experiences a little.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
what was your first impression, or like what was your feeling like when you first landed in the US and then went to your university? How was that first 1, 2 days? Like, what were you feeling? What was your opinion?
Well, in the first 1 2 days, you'll be having a lot of jet lag, but you would be having it with the people around, your friends around you. So, at the very beginning, I would suggest students to, get some snacks for yourself, because I was having friends to help me. But what if you don't know anyone to help you or to talk to? Just you have to have something to feed yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So get some snacks for yourself in the 1-2 days, but in the meantime you'll be meeting someone who will take you, out to get some stuff. And when I landed here, I was not able to bear the weather over here, and I had few rashes on my hands because my skin is not really habituated this kind of weather. This might be happening to all
So
the other
it's a cold
students.
weather or like what?
Yeah,
The
I
cold.
mean it's almost, in India it's 21 degrees, and that was the uh, thing where I'll be really cold too. But when I got here, it was -1. So you can
Hmm.
imagine the change, how that will affect your health and your skin.
Yes.
So in the first 2 days, it was little difficult, but it went well when I had my comforter and all. It's well
Yeah.
comfy, and it was all good.
So you're like,
And
I won't get out
people
of the
helped me.
house.
Yeah, 1-2 days I was not able to. It was too cold, and uh, I knew a little, not more people, and I don't know how the community is. I cannot just judge by looking at it.
Yes.
So I didn't go much out during the first couple of
Got
days.
it. So you actually came to like brought up my next question. So I was gonna ask, how is the Indian community and how
Mm.
diverse is the university in comparison to that? Like a little bit about that Indian community and the diversity of the university.
Well, it's just that, how we are engaging with other people. If you don't want to engage to other cultures, other people, then they will not be able to just come and talk with you just like that. It depends on you, whether how are you able to talk to them. You can make
Hmm.
different friends. You can make American friends. You can, talk to anyone, but it's just that you have to be really engaging in that process. You
Hmm.
cannot really expect them to come and talk to you. So coming to Indian community, I was staying in Ashford Green, which was an American and Indian community, and the apartments were pretty good. We used to have a shared room, and now I am in UNCC. For all the students, there are two communities, which is University Terrace, and the other one is University Terrace North.
So this
In
is
University
the
Terrace,
this is
yes.
the university housing you're talking about, or
Yes, yes, not the university housing. This is a community that has been there here for years for only students at lower prices.
so yeah, that's for the staying. You meant about the
Yes,
stay.
yes, right. Stay.
Okay, okay. My major question was like, how are the people
Mm.
around and how they
Oh,
group
all
and
right.
like how Indians like, are there any associations or something? Are there any
Mm.
like groups or something like that basically?
Yes. So we do have a group which is Triveni Indian Association group, which
Okay,
we call as TISA, and I was a part of it. And they were the people who helped me in getting from airport to my place, and they got me food for a couple of days, which is really good. They helped
okay,
me open the bank, and also, whenever there is a holy or something going on, they were the one who were really took the initiative to make an event out of an Indian festival, and
yeah,
we used to have fun in that.
that's
And
nice.
this people were very helpful, and even in the college you will be finding groups where you can interact more. And there was a one place called Student Union where you can find all these groups that you want to join. If you want to join art group, you can go ahead and join, and
Okay,
there are no one to say no for you. There is always a welcome board standing out there.
okay,
So it's really good over here. People are very interactive, and my own supervisor is very close to me, and he loves Indian food. I used to take boxes to him,
okay.
and he loves to eat, and he usually come here to make some pakodi and all.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, it's super good. So you'll be finding a lot of people over here who are ready to engage with you.
That's nice. So it's all your initiative that matters, I guess. Okay. So yeah, as you were mentioning about your current living situation,
Mhm.
before I ask you about where and all, I want to ask
Mhm.
like, is it near to the university or away from the university, like somewhere far away from the university?
It's like 2 minutes from the university. We usually have a bus that
Okay.
will take us to the university, and it takes me only, when I run, it takes me only 1 minute. When I just walk slowly, it takes me 2 minutes
So
to
you
get to the
stare,
bus.
okay, bus, okay.
Bus. So university and my community is basically side by side.
Okay.
just a walking distance, and the bus will take to the places over the university.
Okay.
So the different kinds of buses based on the routes, you can just go through one of the app that we have, which is called Passio Go. There you can
Passio.
just track all the buses. Passio Go.
Okay. Okay, that's nice. And
Mhm.
yeah, and do you like what's your living situation like? Like in a shared room? I think you mentioned it's a shared. You're sharing your room with someone else, right?
E- Yeah, so that was in my first semester, but right now I have my private room, but it's not an attached bathroom.
Okay, a
It's a
private room,
shared bathroom.
and it's a how many room flat?
So the basically in an apartment there will be in my flat there will be four private rooms and
Okay.
two bathrooms, and
Okay.
hall and kitchen are basic laundry and all.
Yes. And how much are you paying for the rent?
Well, I am paying for $20
Oh,
plus $10 electricity bill.
that's really kind of cheap, I guess. So what are the
Yeah,
utilities
actually,
do you
and the
pay for?
private room.
Exactly, private room for a
It's
420
only
is that cheap? Only electricity and free Wi-Fi.
yes.
Okay. Okay. And what other expenses do you have generally in the month, like groceries and all? How much do you spend for the groceries?
Well, so I am cooking with a bunch of boys. So even when I cook, I get the groceries. Otherwise, when they are when I'm outside with my uncle's house, then they don't usually get any groceries. So my grocery will range from about $100 to $150.
Okay.
So it
That's
depends.
that's
Rice and all.
really
So it's pretty
genuine enough as
expensive.
well.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they are, but I think it is still like a doable thing compared to
Yes.
many other states, if I'm not wrong. And what other expenses do you think you have? Like, I'm just trying to understand in general what expenses do you have, and on an average, how much a student would spend in a month. And I want to know it in your aspect.
Okay. So cutting down my coming to my expenses when I it's 430 for my rent,
Mm-hmm.
and then let's say 150 for my groceries.
Mm-hmm.
So me and my friend are having a shared car,
Okay.
and for the gas it will be like $70 because we roam like for our part times and all we go.
Okay.
So gas it will range from $70, and then apart from that there will be your personal shopping, which
Okay.
will range around from 200 to $300, and it depends on month. Sometimes it might even go to $1,000, but
Yeah.
depending upon your savings you have to spend. So on an average I can say that it would take around $700 including everything, and I'm still saving apart from that. Even though I cut down my 700, I still got some savings that I can put
Yes.
into my account.
Yes.
So I'm like saving 250 to 300 per month
Okay. So you mentioned
from
car.
maximum.
You
Yes.
mentioned car. So
But
did you buy a car, or like did you rent a car, or like what is
mm,
that?
so we got a second hand car because it was really difficult for us to move around the place, because even for groceries, one grocery store is near, which is like 10 minutes, but the other one that has all the items is pretty far. It takes like when you walk it will be 25 minutes, so can't really go. You can walk, but how about you gonna carry everything, and cab is
Yes.
also expensive over here. So putting taking all those things into consideration, we were searching for a few cars, and there was a guy who was selling a car which was an old model. It was a 2012 model, but it's still running good, and there were the status was nice. There were no accidents to it, so we decided to go for it, and maybe that was the best thing that I did, because I don't want to be dependent on anyone and asking for
Yes.
car for
True.
each and everything, right?
So these grocery
So
stores you're mentioning are Indian grocery stores, or like the Walmart and all the regular ones?
it's Indian grocery store,
Okay.
and you can have Suvidha and Patel Brothers in near UNC campus.
Okay. And how much did you spend for the car? if you like when you bought it second hand?
So yes, so the car was 3,500 for two people. So
Okay.
you can divide by two, and apart from that, you have to take insurance if you're getting a car. You have to take insurance. You have to do your own registration. So
Hmm.
it costed us around 2,300 each.
Okay. That's still a decent one, I guess.
2,300
And
each.
it's pretty
Yes.
good right now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because I hear
Best
sometimes
decision, I
these,
can say.
yeah, because I hear sometimes these second-hand cars are like only good enough to travel to a nearby place. You can't go out like,
Yes.
on a highway or something. Is it something like that,
Mhm.
or like you got a good deal or something?
Well, it was a good deal, but whenever we're going on a trips, I would recommend not to take this car because this car is only to commute like in Charlotte.
Okay,
So
got it.
it's better if you're going far distances, go for a national car or Evis car. So that would be pretty good if you're traveling long.
Yes, yes, that's true, I guess. And
Yeah.
yeah, and I think as you mentioned, count if we exclude all these personal expenses, I think around
Mhm.
I'm assuming at around $800 would be good amount for all your expenses and bills in general, like which you can't avoid.
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
that's nice. So yeah, would you like to share anything that someone like who doesn't know and who would know once they reach UNCC? Like you might have known certain things only after you reached UNCC, right? Like something
Mhm.
like a culture shock or something, or would you like to share
Yeah.
something like that?
Well, to be very honest, I was always around Indians, so I never felt homesick because I had my friends over here and everything was super good. But the thing is that when you get here, you have to be very careful around people around you because uh, unless or until there is someone to guide you, you would be alone by yourself. You would be making decisions by yourself. So you have to be very careful and think twice when you want to do something and go for it. And I would not really recommend you to go out or during nights unless or until you believe it is a safe community, because it is never safe around here. Maybe some places there might be, but you cannot really predict how the people around here are. Some might be good and some might not be. So just take your don't do not take your own decisions. Try to ask your friends or ask your parents if you wanna do something or making a big decision.
Yeah.
And actually, for maybe I was lucky that I got good people around me and good
Yeah,
supervisors and
that's
with
for
the
sure.
people I was working. Yeah, maybe I was lucky. And one more thing is that I want to highlight is when you get here, you would be having a lot of food changes that might be occurring to your body. So I would recommend that you would be having a lot of junk like pizzas you'd be eating, and there would be a lot of unbalanced food diet you would be having. So I would recommend that try to have a control on all of this. Without your knowledge, you will go out of control, and you'd be eating the same food daily. And once you will not be able to make a difference in your body or your health unless or until it reaches a peak stage.
Yeah.
And then you will realize, oh, this was been happening all the way. So you have to be very careful with your health habits, food habits, and the people around you. So it
That's
one and
nice.
a half year taught me a lot.
Yeah. And in this 1.5 year, would you like to mention any funny or a serious or any incident that you would never forget about, or something that happened, be it
Well,
with you
when I
or
come,
anyone like that you came across,
mm,
especially
well,
related to UNCC?
okay. When coming to UNCC, I can just say funny moments. There were many, so I cannot really think about one. But um, let's say the only thing that I remember is for my summer, I was literally painting the dorms.
Okay.
So, painting the dorms, patching, I never did this work during, when I was in India.
Yeah.
So, when in summer, people actually go out to their places. So, all the dorms are really empty and you have to redo it. you have to patch everything, the holes that the students create. And there was one situation when I got into the room, the whole room was a hole. Like, I don't know what the student was doing,
Okay.
but the whole room had a hole, and it took us like 2 days to patch it. Maybe the summer was really fun for me because I was in right schedule, eating right food, and having fun with my supervisors, learning a lot about the homework, the the homework. Maybe
Yes.
in future when I buy a house, maybe I would
You
be
can do your
doing
own
a
work.
little of that work by myself,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Exactly. So that was a very good moment and time for me.
That was something new you learned actually. And I think
Yes.
that's what you get to do when you come here. Maybe these all
Yes.
works back in India were always done by some or the other service or a labor, but here in
Mhm.
US, everyone does on their own. Like
Yes,
even if it is
exactly.
someone who earns so much, they still do it on their own because it's something
Right,
like a
right,
hobby for them, I guess.
right.
But
Yes,
yeah,
Varun, that's right.
so yeah, it was really nice talking to you. And do you have any advices for the students who are planning to pursue their masters at UNCC?
Well, I would like to say that it's nothing to be scared of. Everything is really good over here. It's just that put your effort, come over here, learn new things, do not distract on anything anywhere else. And I'm sure that you would be landing in the right place, and you'd be landing on the right job as well. So, no fears, and everything is going to be all right because someone will be there to guide you.
That's a really strong, nice advice. Like it gives some strength to the students who are actually
Yes.
afraid. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your experience and, taking out time for this. And yeah,
Thanks,
that's about
Varun.
it from me. Yeah. Have a good one.
Thank you, Varun. You too.
Yeah. Bye bye.